Hello students, good morning. The next one is you are going to see the program that counts how many vowels are present in it. Actually, you are going to get to a string, and in that string you are going to count how many vowels in it. Okay. So in the first method, see here I am going to get the string. So this is already you know that sum str1 equal to input enter any string. See, already you know that whatever you are getting through the input function you are getting as a string. So now I am getting one string. So you can give any word. Okay, that will be stored in str1. Then I am going to count the number of vowels present in that particular string. So for that, one counter will be initialized here, count equal to 0. Then from that string, you have to take a character. Each and every character you have to take. In that case, suppose you have given us Javahar. So in the str1, the Javahar will be there. From that, J will come in S. So now the S value is equal to A or S equal to E or S equal to I or S equal to O or S equal to U. You are going to check. See, so many conditions I am checking and it will be connected by the OR operator. OR is a logical operator. So if any one of the condition is true, then the counter will be incremented. Suppose the particular character S is A means this condition is true. The remaining conditions are false. So in that case, in OR operation, any one of the condition is true, it will evaluate the true part. Suppose if all the conditions are false, for example, if your string is Javahar and very first J will come in yes. Now the value of S is J. Now J equal to A, it is false, J equal to E, it is false, J equal to I, false, J equal to O, false, J equal to U, false. So all the conditions are false. In that case, so it won't increment the count here and will go to the next iteration and taking the next character. Now the next character in Javahar is A. Now if the first condition is true, the counter will be incremented like that each and every character, and they are checking here. Then after that, after completing all the characters, it comes out of the for loop and print the total vowels occur are. Count will be printed over here. Is it clear? This is very simple method. You are getting one string and from that, in that string, you are going to find out how many vowels present in it. Okay. Next, in the same manner, we are using another one method. So usually instead of checking directly its particular character is A, E, I, O, U like that. So I am giving all the vowels in a list. Already you know that list is nothing but the characters or any characters or numerals enclosed within normal, that is square bracket. So already you know this is a list. So in the list I have assigned some vowels equal to A, E, I, O, U. That means here this is a list. This list consists of 5 strings and 5 strings are A, E, I, O, U. See, within single quotes we have mentioned as A, then E, I, O, U. So everything I have mentioned with single quotes. That means everything are string. Now, as usual, you have to give count equal to 0. Then for S in string 1, that means what? Very first, whatever string you have given. For example, the same Javahar means J will come over here. If J in vowels. Vowels means what? In the list, there will be substituted here. If J in AEIOU, no, it is not available. In keyword membership operator, we are using in. If that particular character is available in this list means the count will be incremented. Otherwise, again it is going and taking the second character. The same manner it will check. Clear? Then finally, it will print the count. So this is one method. This is another one method. So directly here we are printing. We are checking here as a string. And here we are storing all the string in a list. And from the list, using the membership operator in, we are checking here. Clear? Here we are checking using relational operator. Here we are checking using membership operator. Okay. Then Then the next one is string operators. So like arithmetic operators, we are having the string operators also. Two basic operators we are having. One is plus, another one is asterisk symbol. Plus is used for concatenation. Concatenation is nothing but combining, joining. We can combine two strings by using the plus concatenation operator. In the same manner, if you want to repeat a particular string, replication operator is there. That is nothing but asterisk symbol. So plus is used for concatenation and asterisk symbol is used for replication operation. That means repetition operation. These two operators. Actually, depending upon the operand only, it will decide whether it is string operators or arithmetic operator. If both the operands, for example, see here, we'll take the, see here, suppose you are taking 5 plus 7. So here 5 and 7 both are numerals, plus is a arithmetic operator here. Suppose I am writing 5 asterisk 7. Here also both are numerals, integers. In between you have given the asterisk symbol. Now it will be acting as an arithmetic operator. Here if both the operands are string, in concatenation operator, it will work as a string operator. In repetition operator, if any one is string, another one is numeric, that we can call it as the string operator. Now we'll see with some example. See here, A equal to Tom. This is the A equal to Tom. Then B equal to Jerry. Then C equal to A plus and plus B. See here, A will be substituted here Tom, plus is the concatenation operator, and plus B. Now what is the answer? So the answer, one second, I'll take the pen. Now what is the answer? Tom and Jerry. This is your answer. In C, the print C means we will print the answer as Tom and Jerry. Now here we have used, here we have used the concatenation operator plus symbol. Here also, here also. A is string and B is also string. This and symbol is also string. So if you are going to use the concatenation operator, both the operand should be string. You should not add a number with string. For example, see here, you cannot able to give 5 plus Tom. It should not be like this. So because one operand is integer, another one operand is string, you cannot able to do like this using the concatenation operator. Okay. Then we'll move on to the asterisk symbol, repetition operator. So here I have given the example as line equal to go. Then print line into 3, comma Govinda. So here the line is go into 3 means 3 times the go will be printed. Then after that the Govinda will be printed. So now what is the answer? I'll take the pen. See here. Now the answer is go, go, go. 3 times it will be printed. Then afterwards they have given the messages go win the. This is your output. Line into 3 times. Here also you cannot multiply the string and string. For example, you should not give here as go into go. So go into go means this is wrong. So if you are using a repetition operator, one operand is string, another one operand should be integer. In this concatenation operator, both the operands should be string. That is very important. Is it clear? Okay. Then we'll move on to the membership operator. Already you know that the membership operators are in and not in. These two operators are membership operators. Okay. Now here you are going to check here. See here in this example, A in Python. See here, A in Python. So Python is a string and you are checking whether A is available in Python. No. So it gives the answer as false. A in Java. Yes, A is available. True. PER in operator. See here, PER is here. So it will give the answer true. MAM in membership. No. It will give the answer false. Man in manipulation. This is also false because see here, this is capital M, this is small m. So it gives the answer as false. Then pre not in presence. PRE not in presence. Actually, this is presence. And this is also, actually, wait. Actually, pre is present in presence. They are telling not in presence. So it will give the answer as false only. Use the answer as false. See, pre in presence means true. Pre not in presence means it will give the answer as false only. Clear? These are all the in and not in or membership operators. Is it clear? So the remaining, we are having so many comparison operators also we are going to use. That we'll see in the next video. Thank you.